Okay, so we've done our total hepatectomy. Now we are going to talk through our gallbladder prosection. So we are going to measure our gallbladder overall. So we're not going to do our cystic duct, just the gallbladder body. So that's 11.0 by 5.1 by 1.5 centimeters. And then we're going to give our cystic duct. It is 1.2 centimeters in length by 0.5 centimeters in diameter. We're going to check for our cystic duct lymph node, which we do not have here. And then you can see here's our cystic duct margin. We can ink that, or we can just, some sites will have you ink that before you shave it for embedding purposes. So other places will just have you shave that and submit it on FOSS, so true margin down. So I am going to, you can use scissors, or I'm going to use my scalpel, and I'm going to do my cystic duct margin. So I'll get that into the cassette. Then again, we'll comment on our cystic duct lymph node and its presence or absence. We do not have one here. As we discussed in our total hepatectomy, remember, this is our serosal surface. We would say this is yellow, green, smooth, and glistening. And then this is our adventitia, or our hepatic bed. And you can see that's roughened. And we even have a small amount of liver parenchyma attached here. Whenever we open our gallbladder, remember we have our fundus, body, and neck. And we're going to make sure that we open along our serosal surface. So our adventitia is technically a true margin, but we're going to open along our serosal surface that in the event we see something concerning in here, we can go back and apply ink to our margin on our adventitial surface. So I have an empty container here. I'm going to start opening my specimen just so that all of my gallbladder contents go straight into this container, or you open it over the sink. So we're emptying all of our gallbladder contents here. I don't feel any stones, but we're going to make sure that we empty out all of that kind of biomaterial. So I would say green, brown, thick fluid is how I would describe this. And again, you can see this is my serosal surface. Here's my adventitia. I'm going to continue opening my gallbladder along the serosal surface, and I'm going to follow this all the way up and go through my cystic duct. Okay, so gotta go like this. I missed my cystic duct a little bit, so we can, there you go. Now I've got my cystic duct open. We can cut right through there and appreciate that I don't have any obstruction within my cystic duct. So I'm going to kind of wipe off my mucosal surface. So I've talked about my serosa, I've talked about my adventitia, I've now opened my gallbladder. And here I have my mucosal surface. So I would call this green brown to red brown, and the texture is pretty velvety. And I'm going to make sure that I comment on my wall thickness. So my wall thickness is 0.1 centimeters. I don't have any stones, but if you do have stones, you're going to measure them. If it's just one, you'll give it in 3D. If you have two, each one in 3 dimensions. If you have three, you'll give a range from smallest to largest, and then an overall aggregate measurement. You can then do a few slices through your gallbladder so that we can look at our wall thickness, but we don't have any lesions or masses identified. We're going to kind of look at our cut surfaces. Our wall is unremarkable. So now we can just do our representative sections, and we can just do some small strips of fundus, neck, and body. So there's one, and we're going to take this strip, and it's going to end up going into our cassette to be submitted on edge. So our cut side is on edge because remember, this is a mucosal organ, so we want to show all of the layers. Also too, you can rinse off your gallbladders. Okay, so again, my fundus, neck, and body. And then I did not have a cystic duct lymph node, so here are my sections here. I'm going to do one more rep section up here. And then I've got my cystic duct margin shaved in there. So my cassette summary would say A1, cystic duct margin on FOSS, and representative sections of fundus, neck, and body. All of those sections can go together in one cassette. So your standard gallbladder will just have one cassette. The only thing that we're missing here, because we did not have it on this specimen, is a cystic duct lymph node.